friend. Today I want to share with you this beautiful story about the ugliest animal, or in this case, the ugliest bird in the world. According to African legend, God ran out of animal parts while producing the creatures of Africa. So God decided to use all the leftover bird parts to create the ugliest and most unsightly bird in the world. This bird is so hideous that it looks extraterrestrial. We are discussing the Marabou stork, Leptoptilos crumenifer, a bird renowned for earning monikers like the nightmare bird, but more widely recognized as the Undertaker bird, as it distinguishes itself as nature's efficient cleanup crew. But why on earth is it called the Undertaker bird? Dear viewer, there's no sugarcoating it. The marabou's sickly appearance and unbecoming habits have earned it these names. If you look from the back, the Marabou stork looks like an elderly, black-suited undertaker going about his work. The sheer size of the bird and its cloak-like feathers are eerily similar to the image of a grim reaper. Even their white legs are such a shade because they're known for excreting all over themselves. And guess what? All of these unattractive features have boosted the stork into the unfortunate first place as the ugliest bird.
Did you know that Marabou storks lay 1 to 3 eggs in a single clutch, and it takes around 30 to 31 days to incubate before hatching?
But God, in His almighty wisdom, created this bird to fit into nature with a specific purpose. Marabou storks are known as Africa's vacuum cleaners. They literally eat everything, dead or alive. It makes no difference to the storks. They require at least 1.6 pounds, which is about 700 grams of food per day to survive. But it is recorded that they can swallow an outstanding 2 pounds of meat in a single swallow. Their diet consists mostly of decaying flesh of dead animals, mice, frogs, baby crocodiles, snakes, fish, termites, locusts, lizards, and rats. But it doesn't stop there. The marabous will eat other birds too, particularly baby flamingos. In fact, even inanimate objects are acceptable. The birds steal eggs from nests, devour the remains of carcasses, and gobble up human trash from dumps. They will kill, steal, and scavenge to find food. But be careful, dear viewer, before you write of this disgusting, filthy, ugly bird. It is important to understand its critical role in ecology and conservation. Feeding on carrion and scraps seems like a horrific trait. But this dietary inclination for dead matter helps the ecosystem in a number of ways. Not only does the Marabou stork speed up the decomposition process by breaking through thick animal hides with their strong beaks, but this also allows weaker scavengers to make a meal out of the carcass. Additionally, clearing away the decaying and dead matter is crucial for preventing the spread of pathogens. Without the stork's role as a scavenger for decaying carcasses, bacteria and disease would thrive in the discarded remains. The Marabou stork, with an impressive wingspan of about 10.5 feet, which is 3.2 meters, and a height of over 5 feet, which is 1.5 meters, is one of the largest flying birds and has a commanding presence in the skies. In typical stork style, the marabou's long legs trail behind in flight. But did you know that due to its massive size, God created the Marabou stork with a special physiological adaptation which makes it possible to fly? They have hollow legs and toe bones. This reduces weight and enables this large creature to soar. The Undertaker bird can fly up to heights of an impressive 13,000 feet. But cleverly created, they usually stick low to the ground to seek out a meal to scavenge. The fascinating Undertaker birds have a number of unusual habits. While most animals flee from fires, the marabou stork turns it into a feeding opportunity. They rush towards fires, marching just in front of the flames to snatch up fleeing animals. And when they're not facing fires or scavenging food, the storks will just stand around all day. Unlike some other bird species, they are not curious or playful by nature. Conserving energy is of utmost importance, and they use their downtime to do just that. Although marabou storks may be a bit of an eyesore, these birds have a reason to be ugly. Believe it or not, their ugliness has a function, all of which contribute to the fascinating role of the stork in the African ecosystem. The bald, scabby head of the stork is not due to the misfortune of God creating it with leftover bird parts. No, the lack of fluff and feathers on its head is extremely important in preventing infections. The marabou sticks its head into rotting carcasses, which are ripe with bacteria. Its bald head, while unsightly, is essential for keeping the marabou clean and disease-free.
Did you know that marabou storks can reach a lifespan of 25 years in wild?
Another distinctive and rather unattractive feature of the marabou stork is the 18-inch gular sac. It is not used for food storage, but is most noticeable during the breeding season. The stork uses the pouch to show dominance, but it also aids in thermorgulation, helping to maintain body temperature. Another disgusting feature of the Undertaker is its white legs, which is not its natural complexion. In fact, their legs are white from defecating on themselves. Although a gross habit, it is a scientific process called urohydrosis, practiced by many birds. The birds do this as a method to keep cool in the hot African climates. The liquid feces activates evaporative cooling and assists in the regulation of internal body temperature. And if they need to heat up, they spread their massive wings to absorb the sunny rays. By now, we have discovered that marabou birds contribute positively to the ecosystem in multiple ways, which brings us to another marvel of God's creation, which is the marabou stork and bee relationship. Talking about bees, we immediately picture these flying creatures moving from one plant to another in search of food, which is nectar. However, new research shows that isn't always true. Bees are actually omnivores, and their meat is microbes. This brings us back to the marabou stork and bee mutualistic relationship. This mutualism is a cooperative alliance where one species benefits while the other isn't adversely affected. The interaction between marabou storks and bees is elegantly simple and effective. Marabou storks primarily sustain themselves on a carnivorous diet, predominantly feasting on the remains of deceased animals. Their robust beaks enable them to tear apart and consume these carcasses efficiently. In this mutually beneficial partnership, bees make use of the leftover skeletal remains and carcass scraps as both sustenance and shelter for laying their eggs. Without the assistance of marabou storks, bees would struggle to locate suitable carcasses for these vital functions. This interdependence between the two species highlights the beauty of nature's intricate web of relationships. But yet, it doesn't stop there, and once again, we are stunned by God's creation. Vultures and marabou storks share a unique and often symbiotic relationship in the African savanna. Vultures are excellent scavengers with keen eyesight, but they lack the powerful beaks needed to tear through tough animal hides. Marabou storks, on the other hand, possess powerful beaks and can break open carcasses, making the meal accessible for both species. Vultures rely on marabou storks to open up their food sources, and in return, the storks benefit from the vulture's sharp senses in locating carcasses. This mutually beneficial partnership demonstrates nature's ability to find solutions for survival in even the harshest environments. Despite our prior discussion about scavenging, carrion, and self-excretion, it may be challenging to fathom that marabou feathers hold a place in the world of fashion. For centuries, hats and shoes have been adorned with marabou down feathers, dating back to the 18th century. Even the iconic Marilyn Monroe sported marabou-trimmed heels in the romantic film, The 7-Year Itch. This image is a far departure from the typical associations with the marabou bird. Moreover, marabou feathers find application in the realm of fly fishing. Elaborate fly fishing flies crafted from marabou feathers prove highly effective as lures, mimicking a variety of insects.
The old, wise wolf whispers.
In closing, let's take a moment to appreciate the marabou stork's unique role and the invaluable lessons it imparts. Just as this bird dutifully fulfills its role in the circle of life, we too bear the responsibility of being conscientious stewards of our precious planet. Let's unite in the noble endeavor of preserving our natural world and its diverse inhabitants. For in doing so, we not only honor the majestic gift of life, but also reaffirm the enduring resilience and unexpected beauty that can flourish in even the most unlikely corners of our world. Just as the marabou stork thrives within its ecosystem, let it serve as a reminder that each of us possesses a unique purpose and the potential for profound impact in our lives and the broader world. Embrace your individuality, nurture your curiosity, and let your radiant spirit illuminate the path ahead. Keep soaring, stay curious, and let your spirit shine. God loves you.